Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 6 for 6 with your host, the one, the only, Trevor Williams. We got a fantastic show for you today. As like you know in the show's description, we are on our first ever bye week. So what in this bye week entails for our listeners? For our picks, we're not going to be basing if I can win and get the right selection. That's going to be thrown out because it's the bye week. We're technically off. And we're going to, relax. Obviously, we're in the off season, a lot of sports. So there's hard to find good games that are being televised as well as other sporting events to being televised, which kind of impacts, selecting these games for you to watch to see if my predictions were correct. So this is how we're going to end up going from this point forward. Obviously, with a lot of the stuff entering its bye season, we're going to make this program every other week. So, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have another show to get us up to college football. A little bit reduced in production here, but it's not a problem. I want to make sure I give you good quality content. And that's the most important thing to me. If I give you good quality content, you'll keep coming back and keep listening. And you're going to be happy with the selections that I give you and games that you're going to watch. Because you're going to be talking about those games after I get that all straightened out and all the games that are said and done. But let's, look at, my last week's record, overall record, and just breaking down some of the statistics that I have on this program so far for my wins and losses. So with that, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to business and let's go and cover it. So first off, last week's record. We had 4 games selected last week, and we went 1-3. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just struggling getting picks right. It's not the best, but hey, we're getting around. We're going to turn this around after this bye week, because I know a lot of teams are going to be able to swing through and all that stuff. But, this bye week is going to definitely help 6 for 6 out and make us get back on the winning track to get us close back to 500 again, maybe even surpass 500 by the end of this year, which would be fantastic in our first ever season, recording our wins and losses in our picks. So with that goes into our overall record for this season of season 2 of 6 for 6, ladies and gentlemen. That puts us 46-51. Not bad, but we can obviously do better. With the bye week, we can be refreshed, relook at our stats, and make sure we get in the best games and we're right majority of the time, so we can have more 5-1s, 4-2s, and maybe get that perfect across the board 6-0, getting all the victories we want in our 6 for 6 program. That's the true goal of this program, is to be able to get 6-0 in our picks. Now, with that, you go into how do we do? What's our average wins for like roughly each week, and then what's our average losses? We're going to start with the loss column. As you can see, our average losses about 3 this season. So out of all the times we do pick'ems, we get 3 games wrong. That is not the best, ladies and gentlemen. That needs to be lower. That needs to be a 2, if not a 1. That will definitely help drive this better in our favor. And that would be better overall for us in the longevity. Now, having 3 losses each week makes it difficult for the wins column to catch up. So we're going to go look at the wins column and show you what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. In the wins column, we have an average of a 2.706 wins per week. So we get roughly almost close to 3 games a week. But you could argue this is like 2.71 for wins we get each week. So on average, we get about 2 wins when we do picks. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta step this up. This is embarrassing. Only getting 2 wins each week. That needs to be a 4. We gotta work on our way to get up to 4s and 5s and make that like our primary number instead of looking at this 2.7. That looks like a terrible GPA if you want to ask me. But hey, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of wraps up the overall stats of 6 for 6. And what our wins and losses are looking like this season in season 2 of 6 for 6, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go to the sporting events that we have this weekend. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, coming up this weekend is 4th of July weekend. So we're going to try to make it patriotic, but the best baseball game, the best soccer game, the best football game, and the one and the only famous Nathan hot dogs eating contest on July 4th. So let's just go through what we got in the, 2 through 4 categories and trying to break that down for you. So in the 4th slot, you can't have 4th of July without baseball. So we're going to give you the best game to watch coming up to build up for your 4th of July weekend. Hope it kicked off to a great start. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's the San Diego Padres versus the Los Angeles Dodgers, Thursday, June 30th, which is tomorrow. You can catch that game on FS1 at 10:10 p.m. Eastern, 7:10 p.m. Pacific time. Definitely 2 solid teams for start to finish in the matchup. Even looking at their overall records, it's out of the question that what we're dealing with is 2 teams with 45 wins. Padres have 30 losses. Dodgers have 27 losses. Dodgers homestand is 20-12 this season compared to the Padres away record is 24-14. So obviously, tooth and nail records are relatively similar, we can say. But if you look at, the possibility of winning this game, the Padres have almost a 51% chance of winning this game compared to the Dodgers' 49% chance. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is a game you can't miss. It's 2 solid teams. The Padres are making a lot of leaps and bounds this season, trying to get to the playoffs again, get to the World Series, and bring San Diego a title that they've been long deserved for a long period of time. I couldn't ask it for any other way, but this is definitely going to be a great game to watch. Even if you're looking at their, last 5 games, the San Diego Padres have won 2 out of their last 5. And if you look at the Dodgers' last 5 games, they won 3 out of their last 5. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, even across the mark, I don't think you can get a better baseball game leading up to July 4th weekend than these 2 teams right here, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely tune into FS1 tomorrow at 10:10 p.m. Eastern, 7:10 p.m. Pacific time on FS1. You can catch the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers in this Clash of the Titans matchup. With that, we go into the number 3 game. We got the U.S. national women's team. As you can see on my shirt, I got, the nice U.S. men's soccer team. Sure, but I need to get me a nice women's to support them and all the fantastic stuff that they do. They're World Cup champions in the past couple years. I think I know they went back to back, but they've been doing phenomenal. They're going against the Haitian women's national team. You can catch that on July 4th, Independence Day, right before all the fireworks. You can catch it almost literally the game finishes. You can go enjoy your 4th of July fireworks. This is like the best way to celebrate, Independence Day and all that stuff going on, all the fun festivities. If you look at the overall history between these 2 teams when they come face to face, United States have dominated the last 4 times that they met. It's been a complete blowout across the board. And I think it's still going to be fun. And you're going to see a lot of interesting young players for this women's national team to take center stage. And it's going to be on NSBC Sports. You can check that out. Definitely going to be something fun to watch. You can't, pass up an opportunity to watch young talent develop and see a historical game for a lot of these young women trying to prove their mark on the U.S. women's national team. Definitely tune in for that. You can catch this game on July 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we go into our top 2 slots. With that, the number 2 is the USFL Championship game is on Sunday, July 3rd, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. First, you could say complete football season of the non-NFL, you can say. Anything not related to the NFL. Yes, we have arena football and all that stuff, but something that is like the typical NFL, you could say. Obviously, there's probably few rules that I don't know about, but I think this is definitely going to be a fun game to watch. It's at the NFL Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. So make your way up there if you have, trying to figure out what you want to do for July 4th weekend. Definitely tune in to see what this football game is about. And after the game, or even before the game, you go to the Hall of Fame, you tour it, and then afterwards, you go to this game and you watch the athletes perform and play at this point. Definitely a fun event with the family and get the kids involved. Definitely tune in to see what this game is going to be about and how interesting this can be. Because for all we know, this could be the true start of spring football and get more fans into it if this game, builds up the excitement and the anticipation that it deserves to get. Got a comment coming in. Kirsty Wilson, she has no idea who to root for. Yeah, no one really knows because you don't really get a lot of games televised, and sometimes it falls off your radar. It's not on ESPN, so you can't really grab it and snatch it. So it's like I can turn it on. You gotta have to actually investigate it. But I know next year for 6 for 6, we're gonna do our best to get this covered and give you games so you can tune in to watch. I think that's what would do us justice. Would definitely help the network grow and bring us more fans to watch 6 for 6 and get more people into the USFL. Definitely a thing that we're going to be in the works in the upcoming year in 2023 once we sit down on icing for what we want to do for the next coming year. Definitely tune in for that. But to wrap us up for tonight's evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the number one sporting event is the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, July 4th, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's American classic. You got to put it number one every year until something else comes better than it. I think I will continue to rate Nathan's Hot Dogs the number one slot unless there's a huge rivalry that takes place on July 4th. That is the only time this will be dethroned, but we have to wait and see as things develop and how things go. Like I said, the USFL could take that spot. There's teams that we start to investigate and truly believe in. Definitely something that we're going to look into to see how we want to go with that. I know we're going to do a quick recap and crash course and all that stuff. And Kirsty Wilson says it's a no-brainer here. Joey Chestnut wins. The question is, Kirsty, it's how many hot dogs is he going to eat? Is he going to break another world record or is he going to fall a little bit short? That's what we're all going to be interested in. There's probably betting odds out there to say figure out how many hot dogs he's going to eat and all that stuff. But it's definitely going to be worthwhile tuning in for that. But let me do a quick recap of tonight's program. We'll get you in and out so you can enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, we're on our bye week, so we're not picking our games. So there's going to be no wins and losses this week. So once we come back in 2 weeks, you're going to see last week's record was 0-0. I'll just put up we were on a bye. Definitely, I think bye week's going to be helpful. Obviously, when we're in an off season like this, when there's not a lot of sporting events being televised, it helps us out. We don't burn you out for content and not put good quality content for you guys to watch. We're definitely going to be on the lookout for that as we have our program split up for a couple weeks. But once college football gets underway, we're going to try to go back to having program every Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on my schedule. And we'll make sure we give you games to watch for that week as best as I humanly possibly can. But with that, last week's record, we were 1-3, not the best. And our overall record is 46-51, which puts us with an average losses for each week to 3, with an average win of a 2.706 wins per week as well. And with that, we're going to go through the quick sports with a quick recap, lightning round. We're going to go with it. We have the San Diego Padres versus the Los Angeles Dodgers Thursday, June 30th at 10:10 p.m. Eastern, 7:10 p.m. Pacific time on FS1. Tune in for that for some great American Classic baseball at its finest between these two teams that are going to try to make a deep run in the postseason, as we all know. Next up, we got the U.S. women's national team against the Haitian women's national team on Monday, July 4th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time on CBS Sports Network. Definitely tune in for that to see the young women of the U.S. national team take care of business and build up to figuring out the lineup that we want for the World Cup and future Olympics, just to get that in action, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we go into the USFL championship game, which is on Sunday, July 3rd, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. Great game, good football, organization that's up and coming. Definitely tune in. Like I said previously, we're going to try to put more of that in the future to come. As we enter in 2023, we're going to try to highlight some of these games and build up a reputation here on Ison to cover the USFL as best we can. I think this is a good opportunity for us to get the fans. As USFL grows, we'll grow as well. Definitely going to be a potential market that we're going to check out and see how we can grow that. Definitely something we're going to look into for sure, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have more coverage of that in the coming, years to come, or in the following year as well. Definitely tune in for that. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest on Monday, July 4th at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's probably going to be on ESPN or your local TV stations, but I would check ESPN first to watch it. And there's always going to be a rerun in the afternoon, just in case for those in the West Coast are not able to catch it at 8 a.m. Definitely tune in for that. Obviously, don't forget the 4th of July parades in your respective community. Go out and support those who participated in that, as well as be safe when you're launching fireworks. We don't want you to be injured. We all care about you here on this network. We want to make sure you have a safe and happy July 4th weekend. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude tonight's program. Thank you so much for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your week, as well as have a safe and enjoyable July 4th weekend. That will be all for now. Take care and see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye for now.